That's right. Now, I want no more of this, you understand? I have important work to do here, and nothing must interfere with it. Nothing. Nehmen Sie die Kapitän zurück.
Jawohl, Herr Kapitän.
Frank! Frank! Oh, Frank, what's happened?
Skinner, you must do as I say.
Look, Mr. Trainer, sir, I'm not going to be pushed around anymore. You stopped being my commanding officer the day I was demobbed in 1940.
You can't believe anything I'm telling you, can you? You won't even admit that it's remotely possible.
No. No, of course it isn't possible. Moonshine.
Well, what's the matter with him?
I can't tell. All I know is he's ill and needs help.
He went into that room to get some coffee. Very peculiar.
Oh, please do something. He's sick. He really is. I don't know what happened, but we've got to help him. And that was my father out there. It was. Everything's getting so mixed up.
Very well. Now, I'll tell you what. If you agree to stop playing games, I'll let you take your friend inside with the commander and see what you can do for him yourself, all right?
Yes.
But no more tricks.
All right.
Gehen Sie hinein.
Yep.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I was only just trying to...
Who told you to touch that? Commander Trainer?
Commander Trainer.
Interfere with it, destroy it before I had the chance to study it. Was that the plan?
No, Commander Trainer didn't say anything. It's just that, well, we did some experiments a bit like this at school.
At school? Your schools in England must be well ahead of ours in Germany. Very well ahead. Now, you stay here. And you, before you go, you'd better finish the job he was doing. We still need food.
But he's ill. You said I could look after him.
Just something to keep us going.
But I'm no good at it. I can't even boil an egg.
Better and better. So we will have none of your depressing English boiled eggs. Now, run along. And now, I think you will assist me in examining this equipment. You will explain to me some of these experiments you have been doing at school.
Graf, kommen Sie her, bitte.
Was ist passiert?
Der Matrose ist krank.
Bleib still.
Skinner! Skinner?
Nein!
But what's been happening? Have you
Was
been...
wollen Sie wissen? Kein Doktor, kein Doktor.
Wird nicht sterben.
Nein, gewiss.
And what if you're wrong?
Huh?
What if it were possible for people to go back in time? To travel from now into the past?
Oh, for God's sake, Commander. Oh,
What is it?
oh. I had a sudden stabbing pain here.
A headache.
Yes. It seemed as if there was a sudden flash of bright light and... Here, wait a bit. That could add up. 1940.
Yes?
Something about a blinding light.
Look, it's pretty important we should know what happened to you during that German takeover.
Why?
Because I was under close guard most of the time, but you had a certain freedom of action. And I gave you a job to do. Can you remember carrying it out?
Job?
Yes. And there are certain other things that you might have observed. Only you, Skinner.
No, it's just a blank.
Unless the children are in there now, observing them all over again,
Oh,
of course.
come on.
I know. I'm like a dog at a bone. But curiously, being a scientist nowadays only teaches you not to be content with what you can see, touch, and feel.
What doesn't pollute the atmosphere has a tendency to blow up. So there have to be other realities, Skinner. Mysteries beyond our ken.
Pilchards in tomato sauce. Pilchards in tomato sauce. Pilchards in...
Now then, we'll try it. The transmitter, please, as I showed you. Very good. Increased range now. Yes. Yes, I understand. It's all too simple, really.
That loss of signal's strange, but I...
Yes?
Oh, nothing. There's a terminal here, a bit loose. Needs some solder.
Then solder it. Pretty elementary stuff, this, you'd say?
What's it?
Oh, come along. Even in our backward German schools, we could probably muddle through to this. But you British are advanced.
Oh, I wouldn't know about things like that, sir. I'm just in the village.
The village must be quite a place, a remarkable center. You wouldn't be aware of anything else going on here.
What else?
You're asking me to believe that the Royal Navy builds an inland research center just to conduct schoolroom experiments?
Oh, don't you know anything? Tins are usually open from the top.
I don't want to know. Frank, my father, whoever he is, look at him. And you carry on about opening some tins for some awful Germans.
Well, we still have to eat.
Simon, what does it mean, Daddy and Mr. Trainer turning up like that?
I'm not sure, Liz, but I think they were really there.
Of course they were. What do you mean, so were we?
No.
What?
Well, I mean, as far as they were concerned, we weren't. We're in 1940, aren't we?
Are we? Is it true?
And because they're in the time we've come from, that's why we could see them outside, but they couldn't see us, and the Germans couldn't see them either.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Why did they come here, then?
Well, looking for us, I expect.
Oh. And then there's Frank, my father before he was my father. What about him?
Oh, look, don't get all steamed up about it. For goodness sake, we've got to keep calm and collected.
Oh, it's all so weird.
Oh, stop saying that. Everything that happens, you call it weird. But weird's a stupid word. Weird... What we'll have to do is make a plan to get out of here.
How?
The hole in the fence. We came through from our own town that way. We should be able to get back that way too. You, me and Sarah.
Sarah?
Well, we can't leave her here.
No, but Sarah's not very bright, Simon. And what about Frank?
Well, Frank recovers. You know he does. Or you wouldn't be here. Anyway, we'll have to work it out. I'll be in terrible trouble soon if I don't escape.
You?
Well, you see, I understand about radar, Liz. What I mean is that I know how it was developed during the war. Unless I'm wrong, that man Gottfried will make me tell him all I know pretty soon.
Well, why didn't you tell him? What difference does it make?
For goodness sake, Liz, don't you know there's a war on?
Food. Something to eat.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, looks good. Do the prisoners of war get food too?
I suppose so.
That German guard, create a diversion, will you?
What?
Distract his attention somehow. Can I rely on you?
I'll try.
Good girl.
Here you are. Nice and...
Knock him out!
Skinner, it's me, Commander Trainer. Can you hear me?
Light, bright light.
That job I gave you, did you manage it?
Don't. Light.
Did you do it, man? Answer me. Skinner, what's happened to you?
So, he's becoming better.
Well, he seemed to be coming round for a moment.
Very strange. A healthy man by the look of him.
Yes.
A blackout, then.
A blackout.
Commander Trainer, Would you do me the honor of taking dinner with me, sir?
What?
The young lady has prepared some food, and I thought we might enjoy it together. In your office, perhaps we could talk.
As you wish, Capitan.
I'm obliged, Commander. Your friend seems to be a little better now. Perhaps you could tempt him with something to eat. After you, sir.
Here we are, Mrs. Skinner. Nice cup of tea just like Mother used to make.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley.
Feeling better now, Mum?
Oh, yes, it was nothing. My husband isn't back yet, I suppose.
Oh, just after you went upstairs, he went out again with Mr. Traynor. To the old naval station, I think he said.
Naval station?
Aye. Don't know what for. Asked me people should stay away from such places. I mean, it's the past, is that? Don't want to go digging up the past, do we? Yes, well, if there's anything else you want, Mrs. Skinner, just ring.
Thank you.
Frank, I've got something to eat for you here. Come on, Frank.
Back in time. Back in time? What are you talking about, Mr. Traynor?
I honestly believe it may be so, Mrs. Skinner. By some means that we don't yet understand, Liz and Simon have slipped back into another time phase, 1940. And your vision makes me more sure of it than ever.
Vision?
Well, whatever it was that you saw.
Oh, yes, it was quite extraordinary. I mean, quite different from that other business, those disturbed dreams I've been having. I saw Liz clearly, just as though she were here in this room, looking after someone who seemed sick, a young sailor.
Exactly. Your husband, after his injury at the station.
Well, me?
Frank, this is as hard for me to understand as it is for you, but you were at the station at that particular time, and the station's where you had your accident.
You don't mean to say you believe what Mr. Trainor's been telling us?
No, but I've got to listen all the same. I mean, it's an explanation of a sort. Mr. Traynor, Liz and Simon are in 1940, you say, the war.
That's my guess.
At a military establishment at a time when Germans came.
Yes?
Well, then, if it's true, if it's possible, they're in danger.
Oh, no.
What?
No, or I wouldn't have thought so. You see, the past can't actually exist again, except in the sense that the energy has been released and does remain. So people who, for one reason or another, are sensitive to the effects of that energy are not so much actually there in the past as undergoing a kind of hallucination.
Hallucination?
Yes, they'll be perfectly safe in 1940.
And I'm supposed to settle for that? I just accept it and forget my fears.
Well, it's the only way it could ever be accepted in physics. Take my word for it.
I see. Very well, Mr. Traynor. Since you appear so certain of what you say, what do you suggest we do?
Do?
Well, Liz and Simon can't just be left where they are. I mean, if it's true that they've vanished into this time bubble or whatever it is, they've got to be got out.
Oh, yes, of course.
Then what do we do?
Well, dear lady, what would you suggest?
Fritz, kommen Sie.
Liz, I've worked out a plan for out of here. Yes. That German guard will be back in a minute, so listen closely. It's all based on a trick. All we have to do is talk...
Excellent. Excellent, a fine meal.
Oh, yes. Good old British pilchards, and if you'd raided Claridge's, you couldn't have done any better.
I'm sorry?
You know, Godfrey, it's probably handing you an advantage to tell you so, but you amuse me.
Oh?
Yes. You're a sphinx without a secret.
What is this expression, please?
Well, be serious. All this politeness is just because you want something from me. You might just as well be perfectly honest and come straight out with it, because you won't get it, you know.
I won't?
No. I'm fighting a war just as you are.
Yes, the war. This is true. Such a misfortune. Cigar. Thank you. Commander Charles Traynor of the Royal Navy. It was something of a surprise to me when I learned that you were in charge of this station. I remembered you for papers on physics in the International Science Review from before the war.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Especially one in 1937 on the possibility of radio signals from beyond the atmosphere. And I wrote to you questioning 1 or 2 points, you may recall.
Gottfried! Helmut K. Gottfried of Heidelberg University, Faculty of Physics.
Yes?
Well, I'll be damned. As a matter of fact, you know, you helped me a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. 2 of your objections turned out to be completely valid. And as a result of that, I was able to...
Exactly, as you point out, we are fighting a war. So I won't get what I want from you, Commander. Well, perhaps not as an enemy, but as a scientist. There are certain questions, I'm afraid. First of all, that boy.
What boy?
Simon, I believe he's called.
Well, you know more about him than I do. After all, he helped you to get in here.
No,
He didn't.
we Germans have not yet stooped to using children. But he's very knowledgeable.
Yes, he is, isn't he? Well, that's it, Gottfried. I don't know who the kid is, and I don't know how he comes by his remarkable knowledge.
Very well. Question 2. Herein! Danke. I may have less time here than I had hoped, Commander. So, I've examined the equipment out in the operations rooms, and it tells me very little I didn't know already. So, will you tell me, please, what your real work here is?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what is it?
Listen, I thought, well, there's something we think you ought to know about.
Oh, really? Such as?
Well, just before you arrived, we were outside in the field.
Yes, I'm aware of that. How did you get there?
What?
How did you get there?
Oh, we climbed the fence.
Really?
And then the sailors caught us and brought us inside. But the point is, Sarah saw someone.
Sarah? Who is Sarah?
The other girl, the one who doesn't talk much.
Sarah saw someone burying something.
Burying something. Burying what?
Up near the fence.
Well, Sarah said it looked like some kind of machine.
Is that so?
Yes.
Why are you telling me this?
We just thought you ought to know.
You want to help me?
No. But Commander Trainor's been pretty hard on us. And you're better. No one in the village likes the station people much. They're...
Weird.
Yes, weird. And hard on people.
Now, what's all this about, I wonder? Village children? You don't behave like children out of a village anywhere in the world, especially you, Simon. Now, tell me the truth. The real truth? What are you doing here?
Honestly, nothing. We were just playing and then happened to get in here. And then the sailors took us prisoner.
Very well. We'll go and see this place where a machine was buried.
Oh, only Sarah knows that.
Go and get her. Now, I hope I explain myself properly to both of you. I haven't a great deal of time here, and I'm not going to be very pleased if I find people are wasting it. Come on, Simon.
Come on, we're going for a little walk. Listen, you want to get home to your mother, don't you? My mother? Yes, Sarah, your mother, don't you?
What's the trouble?
Oh, nothing. She's just a little frightened. She always is. Come on. Now you'll have to do everything we say, understand? To see your mother again. Understand?
What's going on here? Where are you taking that girl?
I have to question her.
Gottfried! I'm forced to remind you, these children are still technically under my authority. If anything should happen to them...
And how many times do I have to tell you, trainer, that I'm not here to harm anyone? For men like you and I, war isn't an opportunity to maim and kill, especially not children. It's just something we have to put up with. A tragedy, a misfortune.
So it could be true, Jean. It could be true.
I saw Liz.
Yes, you saw Liz. And I must admit, up at the station with Trainer, I felt... Oh, look. You say. I just don't know what's the best thing to do. We can still call the police if you think we should.
But if it is true, the police wouldn't be any help. This theory of Mr. Trainer's clears a lot of things up in a strange way.
Well, what things?
Well, the dreams, you know. They had me pretty worried to begin with because I didn't know what to relate them to, but now I see they could really be a sort of shared knowledge, an understanding between me and Liz.
What happens exactly? I mean, if they're in this other time and we can't get them out, then what do we do?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you're tired. Look, you have a lie down. Try and get some rest. I'll bring you up a nice hot drink.
So? Where is this burial place?
Go on, Sarah. Show him where you saw the men digging. You remember you saw them burying something, didn't you? Hey? You told us. Some men, a kind of machine, they buried it. Sarah! Yeah? Yeah, I remember.
Where, please, where?
There. Just there.
By those rocks?
Yeah?
Doesn't look as though the ground's been touched.
She meant under the rocks, sir.
Under them?
That's what you meant, isn't it, Sarah? Yes, that's what you meant, under them.
They're fixed.
Just a minute.
Oh no, some are loose.
Stop that, stop!
Oh yes, give me a hand, Simon.
Go on, it's our way home.
Move!
No, I can't! Go on, Sarah!
There's nothing underneath. Nothing.
Perhaps you meant further over, then.
Where? Where? Simon, I warned you, if you're playing...
Over there.
Can't see anything.
Well, the ground's been turned over.
No.
Of course it has, plain as anything.
Hey!
No, she's not doing anything, just